Hello, this is Russell from Russell Tracy Photography, and today I want to do a quick comparison between um, the 28-70 f2.8 Nikon versus the 28-70 f2.8 Sigma. Now, the reason I'm doing this is I've seen a lot of questions lately online about should I buy the manufacturer, and what I mean by that, Nikon, Canon, Sony if you shoot Sony, versus a third party like Sigma, Tokina, Tamron, something like that. And I see a lot of suggestions, well, go with the third party, it's cheaper. Or I can't afford the manufacturer because it's too expensive. Well, there's a couple reasons that the manufacturer lenses are more expensive than the third party lenses. The first reason is, yes, the name. You're paying for the name. You're paying for Nikon, you're paying for Canon. But when you pay for Nikon or you pay for Canon, you're also paying for the quality that comes with that. And what I mean by that is this right here, this is a Sigma 28-70 2.8. A couple years ago, I spent about $650, $700 on this. This is a 28-70 Sigma. This, on the other hand, is a 28-70 Nikon. This one right here. You can tell the difference already. The Nikon packs a lot of glass into their lenses, and the quality of the glass is much, much higher than third-party glass. And the reason that I bought this was I use this for a goal camera when I shoot sports because I don't want to break this. I don't care if I break this. I also don't shoot this at f2.8, and I will show you that in a second. So the second thing is, if you put good quality glass in front of your sensor, it's going to do a lot more for you than putting crappy glass in front of your sensor. I mean, that seems like a pretty common sense thing, but a lot of people don't understand that. They think, oh, well, I have this third-party lens and I'm not getting the quality that I want. I want to upgrade my body. No, it's not your body, sorry. It's the third-party lens that you're using. I can almost guarantee that. It's either that or your technique, because if you don't know how to actually use your camera, you're going to get poor quality photos. So the test that I did was I took both cameras. I put my D500 on a tripod, used a remote shutter cable, and I focused right here on this Canon logo right here. And what I did was I took a shot at 2.8, f4, 5.6, and f8. And I did that series with the Sigma and did the same series with the Nikon. And we're going to take a look at those photos right here. So down here at the bottom, the ones in green were taken with the Nikon. Everything else was taken with the Sigma. So this was the Sigma at f2.8, 1/8 of a second ISO 100. And I shot both these at 70 millimeters. First look, this photo looks pretty decent at, zoomed all the way out. But as soon as you zoom in, you can tell that it's slightly out of focus. Now, full disclosure, I did not try to throw this test. I did not try to do anything to make the Sigma fail. I tried my best to get the sharpest photos out of both these lenses. So at 2.8, it looks a little soft. f4, it starts cleaning up a lot better. You can tell it's a lot sharper. f5.6, it's pretty sharp. And f8, it's sharp. Now we're going to move into the Nikon, going back to f2.8. And immediately you can tell that at f2.8, it's sharp. I mean, there's no question about it. f4, it's pretty much spot on. 5.6, f8. So just to compare the two, so we'll do 2.8 to 2.8, Nikon to Canon, or Nikon to Sigma, and you can tell right there that's the difference. Sigma's on the left, Canon's on the right. Excuse me. Sigma's on the left, Nikon's on the right. We're focusing right here on the Canon. Oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. Let's not do that. Well, it doesn't really matter. Oh, I know how to take that off. There we go. F4, we'll do the same thing. And even F4, which looked pretty decent, is just blown away by the Nikon. And the other thing that you can start to tell is the Nikon, the color is less washed out than the Sigma. You can see this looks slightly slightly more washed out, a little less contrast. The Nikon has some nice contrast going on. 5.6, we'll look at that real quick. And at 5.6, they start looking pretty even as far as sharpness goes, in my opinion. The Nikon still has a little better color. The blacks actually look black. And then we'll go into f8. And again, pretty much the same on sharpness. But again, the Sigma looks slightly more washed out. Now, what I did after that was I wanted to try to see where the Sigma started to get sharp. So I started at f2.8 and I went up to f4 in 1/3 increments. So this is 2.8 on the Sigma. And again, if you compare these two, they're pretty similar in unsharpness. So we'll zoom in on this, and now this is going to be 3.2, and immediately you can see from 2.8 to 3.2 it starts to clear up, and then 3.5 looks pretty decent up to f4. This was the sharpest that I was able to get f2.8 on the Sigma. I went back to 2.8, tried one more time to get a sharp image. This was the sharpest that I got. And to compare the two, it's still not sharp. And this was, I took like 5 or 6 photos, and this was the sharpest that I got at the very end. Waiting like 15 seconds for the tripod and everything to settle and whole 9 yards, shooting with the remote. That's the difference between the Nikon or the manufacturer lenses and third-party lenses. Yes, you might have the full range. Yes, it might go down to 2.8. But if you need 2.8 and your 2.8 looks like that compared to that, that's a game changer. And in my opinion, that's unacceptable for 2.8 to look like that. I've had a couple other third-party lenses that I've tried, and all of them, 2.8s are not sharp. And they start sharpening up right around the 3.5 mark, like we saw in this test. Now, these were older third-party lenses. I'm sure they've gotten better, but I made a decision a couple years ago that unless I absolutely had to buy third-party, I would stick with the manufacturer lenses, and I've done so. So that's my opinion on it. If you have the money or you can save up, buy the manufacturer lenses. They're going to be much better. The quality is a lot better. The sharpness is better. If you have any questions, comments, anything that you want to see, leave a comment below, or you can send me a message. All my contacts are in the description. If you haven't done so, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to post up a lot of videos here. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. I'm Russell from Russell Tracy Photography. Have a good day.